David, with the promotion of AJ, how much of this was a decision based on you feeling that AJ was ready to make this jump versus the situation that the big league club is in right now?
We would not have made the decision if we didn't feel AJ was ready to make the jump, so that's first and foremost. The situation the big league club is in and the opportunity that's here right now is certainly a part of it, but we would not have made the decision to promote AJ if we didn't think he was ready for the moment.
What is it that makes you feel like he is ready right now?
Yeah, a combination of first and foremost the performance. He's a pretty well-rounded player right now. There aren't a ton of holes in his game. We think he can contribute to the team on a variety of different levels. And then there is this ability to handle different situations. He's a pretty mature kid for a young player. He's demonstrated that throughout his time in our system. That doesn't mean this is going to go flawlessly for him. That would be an unfair expectation. But we do think he can handle it.
Overall, you obviously projected this roster when you built it this offseason to be one of the better rosters in Major League Baseball. I know that there have been a number of injuries, but when you look now a quarter of the way, what did you guys miss or maybe get wrong projection-wise that you think has led to these results so far?
Yeah, we haven't been a good enough offensive team, and we haven't scored enough runs, and I think it's a combination of there have been some injuries, and there have also been players who have been healthy who haven't performed at their custom levels, and we need to do everything we can, and we are doing everything we can to help those players get back to where they're capable of performing.
Tony?
What about Ewing's swing, plate approach, overall offensive approach, has allowed him to maintain these robust OBPs, getting on base, all that stuff as he's gone up the ladder?
Yeah, so I think it's all of that. It's how the swing works. There aren't a lot of holes that pitchers can routinely attack him with. He understands the strike zone. He has the ability to drive the ball gap to gap. He's not a conventional power hitter, but he does have the ability to drive the ball gap to gap. And once he's on the bases, he's one of the fastest players in baseball, and that helps a lot.
Separately, Manny was just saying that Robert is not progressing the way you guys would have wanted. What is your understanding, A, of what exactly he's going through at this point, and B, when that could resolve to the point where you could start ramping up?
Yeah, I mean, what he's going through is the back soreness has not resolved. And we're consulting with additional specialists. Don't have an updated time frame right now. We need to get further doctors' opinions, and then we'll certainly be able to provide that.
Is this something that could become surgical for him?
We have not gotten that indication at all yet.
Bruce?
David, you're 40 games in, so 25% of the season. Do you still believe you can make a run at some point here and that you can get this together?
I do believe that. We have not shown that yet, but I do believe that.
Why?
I think we have the talent on the roster and the character on the roster to make a run. We've got a lot of season left. I'm not going to say it's early. It's not. We're a quarter into the season. It's not early anymore. But we do have enough season left to make a run, and I think we have the talent to do that.
Will?
Hey, David, regarding some of the injured players, is there anything about the acquisition side of that you have to maybe revisit or rethink going forward?
I think we absolutely have to look at our risk assessment on injured players or players who get injured once they're here. Certainly, we know we're taking a level of risk when we bring players in with injury histories. We're feeling that risk right now, and it hasn't helped that a number of our players have gotten hurt at the exact same time. It's not something we necessarily anticipated, but I think that's a fair question, something we need to look at.
Chelsea?
Another injury question. Just what's your current understanding of what has to happen for Jorge Polanco to be someone who can count on to be healthy, every day and consistently?
Yeah, we need to get asymptomatic with the ankle and with the bursitis. We're not there yet. I think we have really good days, and then it flares up. But we need to get asymptomatic so that we know he can go out there, play on a daily basis, run the bases freely, and we're not there yet.
do you have to consider shutting him down kind of fully from even trying? I'm assuming you're kind of going back and forth with trying to get him back. And what does that look like?
Yeah, right now we're following the protocols laid out by the physicians who are experts in that, and they have not recommended a complete shutdown. So we're still following a protocol that would not lead to that.
Dan?
Do you anticipate more acquisitions or trades, or whether internally or externally, in addition to Ewing coming up?
We're always looking. We are always looking and always seeing if we can improve the team. As all of you know, this isn't the most vibrant time of the year for external trades, but we're going to be open-minded, and we're certainly going to look to see if there are ways we can improve the team in constructive ways.
Pete?
Carlos just told us the lineup with Soto, Benj, and Ewing in the outfield. He kind of had to pinch himself last night. Thinks it could be, special for the future. Do you have that sort of thought process going through your mind when you see those two young guys out there with Soto?
Yeah, I think it's those are two very talented young players, and Soto's one of the best players in the game. And so, yes, I think we look at that and say that could be a really productive outfield for a long time.
Joel?
David, it's been about 2 weeks since you offered a sentence to a single entity about the status of your manager. I just had a couple of questions about it. You said, we don't see this as a manager problem. Whose problem is it, and what are you doing to fix that problem?
Yeah, I think we've underachieved. There's no question. Collectively as an organization, we've got to figure out a way to get better, and I think we will.
And the second part of the 16 words you offered was, we don't intend to make a change. What does intend mean? Like, what length does this manager have?
Look, I'll let my words speak for themselves. I've been very clear and consistent that I think Mendy does a really good job. I believe Mendy does a really good job. I like coming to work with him every day. I'm not going to address this every 2 weeks when I talk to you guys, and I'll leave it at that.
Dave?
Mendoza just mentioned about Lindor having an MRI in the next couple of days. What's before he has an MRI, what was the framework that you guys are dealing with as far as when you were thinking about a return for him?
We won't know until we see the results of the MRI. I think we need to get the MRI. I think it'll be over the next 48 hours or so. Once we get that, we'll get our doctor's opinions and be able to map out what a return to play looks like.
Abby?
What have you made of Sean Manaea's season, and just what are you guys expecting from him in this sort of role? Do you think you'll keep him in this bullpen role long term?
Look, I think for now that is our plan. We've had outings from Sean where I think we've seen glimmers of a really good pitcher, and we've had some outings of Sean that haven't been competitive, and I think Sean understands that. He's working to get back to the type of pitcher he knows he can be. We're working with him, and we need Sean to contribute.
Do you see these, two long relievers or three long relievers, depending on Peterson or not, working out? Or I guess, is there a certain timeline for how long they will be able to work out in the bullpen based on how it's functioning?
Look, I think it is functioning right now. I think each of our relievers has a role, and most of them have performed really well in those roles. So for the moment, I think it's a functional bullpen construction.
Disha?
Hey, David. Just what would you do differently if you had to build this team again tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't think sitting here in the middle of May I'm going to do a postmortem on our season. We still have confidence in our team, and we're still going to support this group and do everything we can to have a successful season.
And then you mentioned that confidence and that you believe in the talent of this team. Just what specifically have you seen? I know you said you haven't shown it yet. Yeah. What's letting you believe in that talent up to this point?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of players with really good track records in this league. And we are counting on those track records, not only on the field, but how they prepare for games, how they go about their business, how hard they're working right now. And we believe that ultimately that's going to show.
Howie?
David, with Minter throwing, where are you at now in terms of what has to happen when he's ready to go out, assuming he goes back on rehab? Do you kind of go back to the beginning and needing to get him to where he can pitch every other day, then back-to-back days? I mean, how significant a setback will this prove to be?
So I think we've got at least one more pen, and then we can probably get him back out on in competition on a rehab outing. We do. I don't know that it's going to be the full time, but we do need to get him back to being able to go back-to-backs, being able to do 2 out of 3s, and that will take a little.
So we're still talking 2-3 weeks, the way it looks
I
now?
think that's right. I think that's right.
Bruce.
David, what's your message to your fan base at this point?
I think our message to the fan base is we recognize that the first 6 weeks of this season haven't been close to good enough. And we understand that. We're disappointed in it. We also believe we have the talent on this team to turn this around, and our focus is doing everything we can every single day to get it there.
Jorge.
David, with Francisco, is there a concern at all that it could be an Achilles issue, or is this strictly a calf?
I'm sorry?
Is there a concern at all that can be an Achilles issue?
We do not have that concern, no.
And understanding it's, you're confident in the team, you also said it's not early anymore. We've asked you about potentially adding to the team. At what point do you have to think about pivoting to the future and deciding that this team is just not the year for this team?
Yeah, we're not close to that point right now.